Damn right he is. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Monday edition of First Take. Molly is out. I don't know where the hell she is, okay? All I know is that she is out, and I'm here taking over. And by the way, as you see Big Perk, and you see Swagoo, and you see Wendy on the show, needless to say, when I'm hosting, there are a few rules that must be followed. Perk, Swagoo, Wendy, this is for y'all. Number one, speak when spoken to and called upon. Number four, speak when called upon and not before. Perk, no cussing. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, Perk? You watch your mouth, okay? You watch your mouth. FCC Airways, okay? No cussing. You all will address me as Stephen A. or Mr. Stephen A., okay? You will do this. This is the other rules, all right? No bad-mouthing the producers, because I know y'all will sit up there and chirp at the producers because you try to intimidate them. That's not going to work. And by the way, this is especially for you, Big Perk. These rude reactions with your facial expressions, trying to mean mug everybody and scare them into capitulating to you. That's right. Write it down, Wendy. You write it down, Wendy, okay? By the way, Wendy, before we even get started, Wendy, I must say, you look presidential, dare I say. I approve that message. Let me move on. Let's get it started, right? The Warriors, they took down the Houston Rockets in Game 7 last night, 103-89. Buddy Hield went berserk, went off for 33 points, and Steph Curry, the greatest shooter God has ever created, saved his best for the fourth quarter to seal the win. They now move on to face the T-Wolves in the second round. Here's Draymond on Steph's impact in that fourth quarter.
Beautiful game. To see him close it out, he knew once, like, all right, now it's time for me to take over and take this thing home. It was beautiful, man.
You've won 5 series now in Houston. What you think your reputation is in the city?
I'm a winner.
You're damn right he is. By the way, those shades with the sweater is fly. I got to copy that. I got to admit that. I got to copy that. Perk, I'm going to go to you first. What did Golden State prove with their Game 7 win in Houston last night?
That defense win championships. And when you're trying to go and win a championship, I know everybody want to talk about what happens on the offensive side of things, but it showed defensively what the Warriors could do. They went and got it in the trenches last night. And we know Draymond Green, he set the tone early, I thought, on both ends of the floor, but defensively, his defensive presence set the tone, and we know what Jimmy Butler brought to the table.
Until the fourth quarter. But when you think about this team, they've been built on ball movement and being able to create shots. And Buddy Hield became that guy. And he caught fire, obviously. But if you look at a lot of those shots, he was catching them in his pocket. He was ready to shoot. And it was created off movement on offense, the driving kicks. He was huge in this game, obviously. But when you look at this team, and we think about vintage Golden State before this game, obviously. But when you look at this team, and we think about vintage Golden State before Klay Thompson was traded away, shooting was the ultimate equalizer for these guys. And I love what you said, Perk, about Steph's defense, because they used to hunt him out and try to figure out how could we get him matched up against our superstar and take advantage of him. And he did do a phenomenal job. But Perk, you know that this conversation, and Stephen A. just said it, that he is already in that conversation. It starts with that catch and release, boss. And when that thing dropping, it is night for most people in the NBA. Buddy Hield stepped into that role that we saw Klay Thompson in for so many years. And Steph, obviously, late game heroic, showed up once again. And the Golden State Warriors look vintage to me.
Before I go to Wendy, I want to say this very astute point on your part, Swagoo, because when I watched Buddy Hield yesterday, I was like, that's what Klay Thompson used to do. That's exactly what Buddy Hield did yesterday in that Game 7. Major props to him, and props to both of you, Big Perk and Swagoo. Very quick and concise with your comments. Very, very good. Keep it up. Keep it up. Wendy, go
Man,
ahead. The
move
floor
on.
is yours.
I ain't come here for all that this morning,
You watch
man.
your mouth. You watch your mouth.
I ain't-
The host is smoking. Wendy, go ahead. The floor is
I
yours.
can't believe what I'm about to say, and that is that Steph Curry had a LeBron James series. What I mean by that is he led the Warriors in points, rebounds, and assists. Crazy. That's Luka Doncic stuff. That's LeBron stuff. That's what the Warriors only had one double-double from any player in this series, and it was Steph last night because he knew he had to be a little bit of the glue guy. He had to rebound. He had 10 rebounds last night. He obviously is a great assist guy. He had 7 assists. Guys, 2 blocks and 2 steals last night. Game 7 on the road. It's a possession game. You need every single one. Also, Steve Kerr begged him, please stop turning the ball over. We're not in position in this series to survive these big turnover nights. He has 2 turnovers. That's an incredible, before I even get into his shooting, his scoring, that's an incredible all-around performance. That's what he gave in this series. Led them in rebounds in this series, guys. This is a team in Golden State that doesn't have size. They need rebounding from the guards. He gave it to them. This is not something we've seen. This was not something he was capable of doing 10 years ago. Yes, he was winning MVPs 10 years ago. He was not this type of player. He's bigger. He's stronger. His conditioning is better. By the way, he ran 1.99 miles last night, 2 miles, the most he's ever run in a game where there's been tracking. So he did all that, exhausting himself. And then in the fourth quarter, when it mattered, when Houston was making a run, that's when he made the big baskets. Talk about a definition of a superstar all-around game. That's what Steph Curry gave. That's how you win a Game 7 on the
I said, I think we're going to win a championship, but I lied. We are going to win the championship. Wow. I'm telling you, because I don't believe any of these teams are that great. Boston, yes, you got to go through Boston. You got to get through the champs. But we got to get through the West first. But none of these teams scare me.
Why do I bring him up? Because he set the tone with those 2 big threes early in the game. He set the tone with that. When you see Draymond Green coming out and hitting three-pointer, he hit a couple to start the damn game. So I looked at that and I said, okay, all right, this is Game 7, and he's showing you. He's showing up. He remembered what he said. He remembered the guarantee that he put out there. He showed up, finished the game with 16 points. I thought he played an outstanding game, particularly defensively. We saw Steve Kerr, discombobulating Houston with the zone or whatever. But then, of course, you think about Buddy Hield and what he's done. He was absolutely sensational, very Klay Thompson-like, and Steph Curry came on in the fourth quarter and did what he did. On the flip side, guys, Jalen Green, I think it's safe to say he needs to get ready to pack his bags. If you're the Houston Rockets, you have to be looking to move him. 38 points in Game 2. That was the game that Jimmy Butler got hurt. Every other game, 7 points, 9 points, 8 points, 11 points, 12 points, and another 8 points. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. That can't happen. Houston's offense was awful, but primarily because he couldn't do anything, fellas, and that's where I'm coming with it. That's how I feel about him. I think if you're the Houston Rockets, you've got to go out and pursue Kevin Durant. A team like Detroit and others might look at him. But if you're the Houston Rockets, you got 2 of Phoenix's first-round picks. You know what? You got to be willing to give that up along with Jalen Green to go out there and get yourself a guy like Kevin Durant, a #1 scoring option, one of the greatest scorers in the history of basketball, who wouldn't mind being in Houston. Yes, he'd have to deal with going through the West. We understand that's been kryptonite for him, no doubt, outside of him being a Golden State Warrior. But in the end, that's the situation that I'm looking at with Kevin Durant and Houston. That's all I have to say about that before I move on to the next subject. Does anybody have an issue with what I just said? Go ahead,
I want
Wendy.
to say this about Houston's future. First off, 1 week from today, I know we're totally immersed in the playoffs, and we should be.
Yep.
These are great second-round matchups, had a couple of Game 7s.